Hello, figments of my imagination. Well, it's a day that ends in Y, so we have another monetization update for the Bazaar.
Another one.
To be fair, this one is kind of good news and significantly shorter. I guess the main headline is more about release and communication structure in general, but I'll cover all that. First up, monetization. They are dropping the base game price to $19.99, and it will still include Vanessa, Dually, and Pygmalion. In line with that, they're taking away the Stell bundle on the 10th, when most of these changes go into effect. Additional heroes will still cost $20, but I assume that's the next price point to drop. 15 makes a lot more sense and is more in line with consumer expectations for DLC. They also mentioned that they're aware that some players did actually pay the full $40 for the game, and they are, quote, working with Steam and exploring alternate solutions to this issue. My assumption would be a partial refund or granting those accounts Mac and Stell as compensation, but I guess we'll see. And that's actually it for monetization. The rest of the topics are more geared towards release schedules. First, seasons. They said that every month they'll reset ranks and release a balance patch that's focused on adjusting numbers on over or underperforming cards rather than completely remaking cards or other systems. These seasons will not include a prize pass update. That will instead come with what they're calling releases. Releases is the term they are using for any future content patches and will happen every few months. Examples of content include new heroes, new items, skills, and monsters. They also said this would be the chance for any large gameplay changes, probably similar to the XP revamp from a few patches ago. They've decided to ditch the hero card pack system, instead opting to just add cards for heroes with each release. The main change here is that they're not limiting themselves to adding exactly 10 cards per hero, and they don't all have to follow a theme. This change is actually pretty good, and probably the way it should have been from the start. Themes are cool, but with such small sets, you run into the problem of decks like Dino Dually, where if you don't find a small subset of specific cards quick enough, you do nothing and lose. So I'm glad to see them move toward a more open-ended release structure. I just hope they don't take this opportunity to add even less cards, though I fear they will. They also acknowledge the elephant in the room. They've changed a lot since launch. They said this is the last one, but we all know that every change is the last one until the next one. From the technical side, they're upgrading to Unity 6.0, which probably means something to people even nerdier than me. They're also changing how matchmaking in ranked works, which is a long overdue change in my opinion. Under the current system, the ghost you fight is completely random, independent of your rank. With the new system, players will only be matched against ghosts of their own rank or lower. That means newer players will have a significantly easier time on average. Paired with this change are changes to the rank system overall. Players will now gain or lose rank points after a run, which will ideally keep them more in line with a proper rank, rather than just allowing anyone to make it a legend if they played enough. They also said they'll be working on a more robust rank system, but that will take longer to deploy. And with these changes, all ranks will be completely reset on September 10th, with the balance patch. Future resets will be softer, they said, with a focus on keeping players roughly where they were, rather than setting everyone back to bronze. As for the patch itself, nothing concrete, but they did say they wanted to hit Stell, mentioning Private Runabout and Hangar specifically. They also want to reduce the power of out-of-combat scaling items like Money Tree, and make the strongest enchantments more rare. Obsidian and Shielded were the examples of, quote, strongest enchants. But it's not all nerfs. They said they wanted to improve numbers on existing items that are not seeing much play to make them more viable. Who knows, maybe they'll give us back Silver Hydraulic Press. Personally, I think these changes are basically all positive. 20 should have been the price point from the start, and they likely went with 40 just to make it look better when they settled on 20. Obviously, I still think your first hero should be free, and each hero beyond that should be 10 or $15, but at least we're at a better place than a month ago. As far as releases, that's fine. A larger release every 3 months is probably enough content. I do think balance tweaks should happen more often than once a month, and they did say they would do them more frequently when needed, but Stell's been out for a month now, and most of her egregious cards are still unnerfed. Of course, that could be because of all the turmoil with the recent firings and the monetization restructure, but still, I hope future balance tweaks are more frequent. And the rank changes just make sense. It's really stupid that you're essentially guaranteed legend if you just play ranked games constantly. You should have to average close to 8 or 9 wins in my opinion. And that's it. I'm actually going to be out of town for a bit, so the only game I'll be playing is Silksong. Of course, that means I'll miss the patch, but I'll be sure to complain about everything possible as soon as I'm back. Anyways, do YouTube stuff if you want, or don't, and I'll see you all eventually.